Hello and welcome back to Stack Dive. This episode I'm going to be building a Flutter app to help new mothers. And as you can see from the thumbnail on this video, the idea is I want more babies in the world. I want more lovely little people and lovely mothers in the world. And one of the issues with motherhood is that because it has become devalued, at least in Western societies, um, the knowledge that would have been shared naturally between women, between like female only spaces and in female only groups and stuff, slowly has been lost. And there is a movement to bring back that knowledge. You can see it in Natural Cycles, that app that lots of women use now to get off the pill. And there's a gap in all of these things. So a lot of them build up to motherhood and they're really good at that. But there's a gap which a company that I'm working for is trying to fill. It's a small startup company. It's called Mummy. And the idea is to build an application that has knowledge about what happens to women after they've given birth and helps them get back to who they were before. So rather than going through depression or feeling alone or feeling like they're just not cut out for this, etc., they want to go back to the time before they had their baby. They feel supported, they feel loved, they feel like this was the right decision and they want to do it again. And the explicit idea of it being to do with having more babies in the world has never been discussed in the company, but is what I care about. More humans, more good, I think. Especially humans from parents who maybe need to be encouraged because maybe they have like an amazing life already and they're like, oh, I just don't know why I'd want kids, like my life is so great and stuff. And part of that could be because of the fear, and if we can reduce that fear that actually you're going to go into this and it is going to be great, it's going to improve your life, not make it worse, then we can encourage people who are really intelligent and doing really well to have children, and then their children will go on being raised by those mums who will be really intelligent and brilliant to be as intelligent and as brilliant and improve the world even more. So yeah, that's the idea behind building this app. Now, I am sort of new to Flutter app building, and so the strategy is going to be, I'm going to explain roughly what I'm going to try and do. I'll then show you me doing it. I'll play some nice music in the background, acting as a DJ. And when I feel like I've got something to share, which is worthwhile sharing, I'll pause the music, I'll come back on, and I'll explain to you what I've been doing and how you can do it, basically. So, with that in mind, let's jump into it. So I'll share my... Whoops, which one is it? This one. So you probably won't have watched it, but I did a stream recently where I tried to make this application using O1 Preview. Slight sidetrack, but O1 Preview cannot do this. So if you're thinking of making a Flutter app of any kind and you're not very good at coding and you're like, oh, the AI will just do it for me, it definitely will not just do it for you. You probably have more luck following the tutorials from Google. So in the end, when I tried this, O1 Preview sort of fell apart within 10 minutes. It was using outdated information. It was using a mishmash of information, probably for different versions, etc. It got some things right, some things wrong. In the end, it was just not workable. Bit bigger. And so I went back and I read the tutorials and I built a small little version which semi-runs, which is okay. So let's run this. So I've got this tool downloaded, which is like a little Flutter tool. And I was trying to run this in, I just check my notes. Hyper-V, Gradle being a bitch. Okay, so this ran. You can see the pain. I did something which made it work better, but I can't remember what it was. I mean, I upgraded my... Okay, let's open. So the way this can work is you open Android Studio, and Android Studio allows you to create fake emulator phones. So I can get my medium phone API 30. Now, I'm on a Windows device, and for some reason, this seems to run incredibly slowly. And so what I might do instead is run it in the browser, and I think that will be faster. It's either that or install Hyper-V, which is Windows tool for making emulators run faster. And an emulator is just a fake device, if you like. It's imitating a device. Components, Android SDK tools. Yeah, can you just run my thing? Running devices. Run that one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So really, I just want it to work. And it's not. Is that because if I enable hardware input? Okay, this is too slow, I think. So let's stop this. Yeah, let's stop this. Oh, I ended up doing it on my phone, actually, but then you won't be able to see it. Let's do it on the web. So one of the nice things about Flutter and the point of Flutter one of the nice things about Flutter and the point of Flutter is it allows you to define your application once and then compile it for any platform. And it's basically built for this. And that means for the same application, I can run it in debug mode and it should launch on Chrome and give me the same application that it would load if it was loading on if it was loading on Android or iOS or whatever. It's the same thing every time. Where is it? Here it is. So does this work now? There we go. That's better. That's faster. And this is nice because it means I can pin it up here, pull it across so it's like a phone, and then we can see what I'm building. Okay, so this would actually be a very, very small phone, a very, very wide phone. So if I free it from there, can I make this a little bit smaller? Nope. That's annoying. Anyway, yeah, this is the application. So long term, what do I want it to look like? I want it to look like this. It's a very simple application. it would just be the login page, login or sign up, and this is going to be powered by Google Firebase, or that's what it's going to be. It'll be powered by Firebase. And then the first page is going to be, hi Laura, she's one of the founders of the company, and a little affirmation. My wife loves affirmations. She's just had a child, so I'm sort of deep in this at the moment, and affirmations are definitely something that a lot of women really like. A lot more so, I think, than men, at least in my experience. And then the other thing we want is the symptom checker. So these are sort of the two features. A little affirmation you can share the love, with your fellow women, and a symptom checker. And this symptom checker would just ask you questions. You would click on answers, and from your answers, it will predict what article you want, what article will be helpful for you. And then we want a little article page. And that's it for now. It's a very simple application. It has no tracking or anything like that involved yet, but that is something that we want to do in the future. And the back end is AWS. So these articles are hosted on AWS, and we're going to have to serve them from AWS. Okay. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to try and do is set up the login screen. So I'm going to cut my video now. I'm going to act as a DJ and play you some music, and I hope it's good. It might not be. If you are listening and you're like, oh, this would be good, except I just want better music, send me a playlist if you know of one that's free, no copyright. This one supposedly is, but this video won't earn any money anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, right, see you in a sec. Hello! I feel like this is as good a place as any to jump in and talk about what I just did. So, pause the music for now. So basically, what I've done here is I've got this debug session running. So this is from an application called, or not an application, an extension in VS Code called Flutterfire. Or not Flutterfire, sorry. It's just the Flutter extension for VS Code, sorry. So if you wanted to, you could come and find this yourself. You could search Flutter and you can get this one here, which is the one I've got. All the dev tools for Flutter, which let you do what I'm doing and run things in debug mode. You can run it from the terminal like you saw here, but I don't think you get the Flutter inspector. I don't think you get like the CPU profile and the network app size. All of these dev tools aren't built into the terminal. And even hot reloading, it doesn't happen automatically. So if you save a file and it's running from the terminal doesn't automatically change this. Like, so say for example, I believe if I go to my app, and if there'll be a widget somewhere which is so I'm just going to search it up here. There will be some text somewhere. Yeah, so I've got sample item ID, and I can say whoopity do, save that. Oh, here it is. Now, if you do that on the terminal, from my experience, it doesn't translate the same. I'm not going to test it now, but basically this is why I think this one is better. You also get this thing, the Flutter inspector. Yep, whatever. Send you statistics, no thanks. So I can select something and I can say, oh, let me look at this, and it will give me the information about how high this widget is, how wide it is, what's its padding, what's its margin. So for those who do web development, it's very similar sort of idea, similar lexicon. Yeah, so I prefer to use this set of dev tools. Okay. And then the next thing I did was I didn't show you my Firebase project because I'm not, might be fine to show. Let me just look and see, is this going to be a problem? Maybe not. Okay, so let me show you. So you can see here I've got this mummy app project, and it's got inside of it web, iOS, and Android, and it says 5 apps. There was Windows and there was Mac OS, but I don't want Windows and Mac OS. Okay. Inside of Firebase is like an app building platform, and one of the things it provides is authentication. And this is what I want to build into the app first, so we can just have people come into the app via their Google accounts. And maybe initially we won't store any information on them or anything like that. It will just be, just verify that you are actually a person. You're not going to abuse our system. It's a very small thing to do to authenticate with a Google account. Yeah, that's that. Analytics. Nothing, because no one uses it. Okay. And Flutterfire is a tool that helps you build this connection. So It's the recommended tool that you're supposed to use to connect Flutter to Firebase, and it allows you to configure your project. It is a good job on information, and use that, I suppose, to connect to Firebase. I don't know all of this for certain. This is all like shady knowledge or rough knowledge. Why is it doing that? Can I deselect? There we go. That's nice. Okay. Next, So I configured Flutterfire, connected it for Windows, not Windows, Android, iOS, and web, which is the only platforms I'm interested in. And then I've added in this thing here. So this is the file that was generated by the Flutter CLI. I guess we need this. It includes information that we need. But then presumably this is coming from here. Yeah. So I can get the Firebase options, which is this switch case, depending on what my target platform is. And I can get the settings from that, which is the options value. And then I say I'm going to initialize the app. Widgets flutter binding.ensure initialized. I don't know what that means. And then I can run the app. And the app with this little section here is now connected to my Firebase. Okay, so that's where I'm at now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing you that music again, and I'm going to try and connect up the authentication part for the Google sign-in, and then I'll explain to you how I did it if I manage to finish it. Speak to you in a bit.